Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese snacks and treats. Today, from Soccer Co., we have the 7 flavors of arare, and according to the culture guide, and I'm going to actually read directly from it. This bag contains various authentic arare flavors, such as seaweed, green laver, and sesame. And yes, I'm positive I mispronounced one of those words. Feel free to correct me in the comments below. So they don't actually tell me what all 7 are, nor do they give me any sort of way to tell them apart. But looking at this bag, I can tell that there are differences between them. There are at least 3 very distinct, this is clearly a different flavor profile in here. So I thought, instead of just trying one, since they are saying that there are different flavors in there, we are going to actually try a few of them, and we're going to play a game called Can I Taste Any Difference Between Them? I am not going to make an attempt to guess what the actual flavor is supposed to be, because there is no way I'm going to get it right, and there's no way for me to find out if I was right or wrong. But we are just going to kind of try these out, see how different they are, see how they taste, and yeah, it should be pretty interesting. So let's get started. Itadakimasu! So I am going to start with, I'm trying to get this open without, there is a ton of writing on the back, and I kind of don't want to break that up. I accept. Alright. Oh, there we go. That works really, really well. So one of the ones we're going to try, this is one of the ones that is super, super distinct since it's been straight up wrapped in a piece of seaweed. This one is also really distinct. I don't know how well you can tell with the camera, but it is significantly paler than the other ones. I'll pull out another one and show you. This one, and there we go. That gives us 4. But you can tell most of these are kind of a darker brown, and this is a very kind of bright green as opposed to the dark green of the seaweed. I have no idea what flavors any of these are going to be. This is going to be entertaining. So we're actually going to start with the weird one. It's good. It's super crunchy, which is great. I don't know what to describe the flavor as, but it is kind of that savory umami soy saucy flavor that you get with a lot of these basic arare. Really tasty, really good, really solid. We're gonna do this one next. This one has like these weird stick shapes for their flavoring. It does taste different. The first one had a much lighter taste than the second one, but they also, I don't know, there's something kind of fresher and lighter about the first one than the second one. Again, I'm not sure how to describe it. I am so sorry. I need to get better descriptions for these, but it's got a darker flavor to it. I'm not sure. So moving on to this one. That one I think is the sesame flavor. It's got a deeper flavor than the first one, not as deep as the second, and it does kind of have that sesame flavor to it. Really tasty, really good. So this one is clearly seaweed since it's literally wrapped in a piece of seaweed. And this is the one we're going to finish up with, mostly just because I don't have a great way to identify all 7 flavors, and they didn't even give me 7 flavors to guess and try to find. Okay, that was interesting. Very, very strong seaweed flavor, naturally, since it was literally wrapped in a piece of seaweed. But it kind of tasted like they didn't coat the entire arare underneath the seaweed. So it didn't have nearly as much of that coating on it. Pretty good, really tasty. That is definitely interesting. They really were, all 4 of them were distinct, different flavors, though they were all very, very similar. That is really interesting. Gochiso-sama. So to recap, we tried 4 of the 7 flavors of arare, mostly just to see, could I tell them apart? As somebody who hasn't really, like I had a lot of some of these flavors as a kid, but, I very much grew up on more of an American diet than on a Japanese diet. So some of these are, while these have flavors that I'm familiar with, they're also flavors that I'm not super familiar with too, kind of all mixed in. And there really is actually a difference between them. And this is kind of fun for me because we do try a lot of arare on this channel. And sometimes it's kind of a question of, just how different are all of these, especially because we're usually not taste testing them back to back to back. So having this bag where they do have several different flavors mixed in, and just trying a bunch of them, even though we're not really going super in depth, and just seeing that, even though they're very similar, they do have these distinct differences. Really kind of fun, kind of cool. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed doing that. I would recommend just to kind of experience it if you are somebody who enjoys arare, who's kind of curious about it. I think it might be worth your time. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, the link for that is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Johnny.